Oh, recording in progress. Okay. We're live on the air. This is the very first second of the very first moment of the very first Whybut session at the Center for Connection and Collaboration. And Whybut is What Have You Been Up To? Where we ask Asheville area artists what they have been up to over the past year, especially in the wake of Hurricane Helene. And so our very first guest of the Whybut sessions is Julie Beckton Gillum. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Claire. Well, okay, there's Julie Beckton Gillum. Good. Oops, went too far.
So,
Okay.
just to put who you are in context, you are from around these parts.
I was born in Asheville.
You are, yeah, you're one of the actual few Asheville artists who was really born and bred in this area.
Yeah.
But you have gone far and wide.
Well, I guess. I've tried to. I'll go wherever they'll let me.
So, yeah, do you want to just talk a little bit to set a context for your work as an artist, your relationship within the Asheville community, and then outside of that in the global international community, just kind of frame where.
Well, I've been dancing for many years in the Asheville area as a modern dancer, and then I discovered Butoh 27 years ago, and I never looked back. So I left the other dancing and a lot of musical theater choreography regionally, and I don't do that anymore. I only pursue Butoh. I taught at Warren Wilson College for 17 years, and they fired me. And as soon as they fired me, I knew they'd done me a favor. And I was able to do what I always wanted to do, which was travel and dance. And, screw Warren Wilson. It was like, okay, great, I'm done. And anyway, so over the last 6 months, I have been touring. I was in Japan for 3 months and Cambodia for a month with Andrea. And then I was in the UK, Serbia, and Georgia.
And you've been doing that for quite a number of years now, that kind of hectic global touring, teaching and performing all over the world. And then you bring stuff back to us too.
Yeah. So, I meet a lot of people, and they come to the Asheville Butoh Festival, and I bring them to perform in this. This is our 15th Asheville Butoh Festival. Here, coming up, coming up in like next. It's Halloween weekend.
Butoh Festival with Atsushi Takanouchi from Japan.
He is one of the most. Well, they actually live in Italy, but they're coming.
Oh, okay.
They're coming. And anyway, I've started having this Butoh Festival, which is great. And I'm just going to show you some slides of what is that that's in front of.
I think we have to just say about it.
Oh, that was the recording, the recording thingy. Okay, thanks, Diana.
Anyway, I'm just showing you some slides from Tokyo.
Take it away, Julie.
And I was in Tokyo first, and then we went to Kyoto. I took a group of international artists to study in Japan, to study Butoh. And I started making labels for these slides, and then I went, okay, I ain't doing that anymore. So I didn't do all the labels for all the slides. And there's a million slides, so I just picked some. So I spent a month in Kyoto working with Katsura Khan with 6 other people. I organized all the workshops in all over Japan, in Kyoto, Tokyo, Kanazawa, and Aomori. And we worked with, well, I'll kind of show you the pictures as we go. You'll see some of the artists, some of our classes. And if you wanted me to stop and look at something closer, you're welcome. So we did 10 days of classes with Katsura Kan in Tokyo. And we also took classes with other people. Kan taught us Buto and no theater. And the no theater was very difficult, very challenging. We had to sing, dance with a fan, and wear tight kimonos. And I had had this experience before in 2009 when I was in Japan of learning Kyogen, which is the more comic form of no theater. This theater type is like 800 years old. So you can look at the tanukis and little temple things and street shrines. Anyway, the no was wonderful. I must have seen 5 different, maybe 6 different no theater. This is a beautiful place, no theater performances. This little temple here is, it looks like it's ancient, and all these carvings, there's thousands. It's called Temple of 10,000 Laughing Buddhas. And there really are 10,000 of them, but they were carved in like 1986.
And you took all of these pictures?
And I took all these
These are
pictures.
nice pictures.
Yeah. And it was just a wonderful place. And we rode subways and buses and trains to get out to. And this is my big 15 minutes of fame, sharing a poster with Katsura Kan, who's kind of a big deal in Buto. And naturally, he gets to be bigger and in color. And I'm black and white and down in the corner. But that's anyway, so that was, we did get to perform. I got to perform in 3 different concerts and do my own work as well as the work of the artists that we were working with. We had 10 people at one time working with Seisaku and Yuri in Tokyo. We're going to do this again in 2026. Everybody's like writing me emails and saying, can I go? Can I go? Oh, that's a beautiful bamboo shot. So
Doing it again in Japan.
in Japan, taking a group, but I didn't charge them anything for my organizational skills. So this time I'm afraid I'm gonna have to charge a little bit, just a little bit, not much. I don't need to make a fortune. I just need to pay for my trip, because I paid for my trip. I paid for everything, just like everybody else. And I did all the work. So I'm done with that. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to make a big bucks on this, but so here's a little Tokyo market. There were all kinds of, this is a beautiful Zen garden. This was really close to where we were staying in Kyoto.
Yeah.
We had to take baths at the bathhouse. We thought it was, this was just the most beautiful bathhouse. We loved it. It was funky. But the reason that we loved it is because they let me in with all my tattoos. Because I got kicked out of the bathhouse for my tattoos, the fancy family bathhouse. This woman came up to me and said, tapped me on the shoulder. You know, I knew, but she tapped me on the shoulder and she went. I was like, okay, I understand all these gestures. So I left. And yeah, there's me in the bamboo forest.
Oh.
See, I was there too. That's my sort of standard shadow shot. Little bit of fish, little sushi. It was so good. This was Mitaki Dera Temple, was in Hiroshima. This temple was there in, I guess, I think it was built in about 720 or something AD. And this temple withstood the bombing of Hiroshima. It's outside the city up on a hill. So I'll show you a couple more pictures. This was the most beautiful temple I went to. And I went to lots, and you just wandered up the mountain. Here was an A-bombed, couple of buildings got bombed, but this was kind of the tribute center. They moved this from,
It was, the original temple is how old, or it's built when?
720,
Okay, wow.
the 700s. And it's all still there. It's really fine. It did withstand the whole nuclear bomb. And all these little guys are there too.
I have an ex-boyfriend who looks like that.
And this is part of the Peace Park, one of the sculptures. You can kind of, yeah. These are beautiful sculptures in the park. It's a huge park. There's like 3 buildings in all of Hiroshima that they left standing after the
Wow.
bombing. So that's one of them. And that's right inside, that's in the middle, ground zero, inside the Peace Park. And that's me dancing in Moe Yamamoto's class and with my friend Scoop. And this was a wonderful workshop in Kanazawa, which is a city that you don't hear much about in Japan. People don't go to Kanazawa, they go to Kyoto, they go to Tokyo. They don't go to Aomori, they don't go to Kanazawa. Kanazawa is wonderful. It has 3 geisha districts and a samurai district and 1,000 temples and a castle, and it's just beautiful. See, here's the little geisha, just little pictures, little Japanese corners, little corners. And I did get to see the cherry trees and the plums blooming.
Yeah, you were there at the right time.
They just started. And anyway, and this was one of the concert posters for our show, in one of our shows in Aomori. You can see our names, just Julie, Gotche, Scoop, Sophia, Lars, Ripley, Alec. So there's our names. And it was all, it was a wonderful show. So we were in Kyoto, then we went to Hiroshima for a week and climbed some mountains and saw the big archway. I'll show you that in Miyazumi, I think it's called. And this is us in Seisaku and Yuri's class, the group of students. And all these people were people that I had taught through the years from Turkey, Greece, Australia, UK, Russia, US, various places. And they all said, Julie, why don't you take us to Japan? Years ago. And I said, okay, I'm going to take you to Japan. So get ready. And we did it. And so now we're going to do it again. And here's some more dancing in the studio with Seisaku and Yuri. This was a great experience. They were wonderful. Well, they all were. Every teacher that we worked with was amazing. This was often give us paper and photographs and images to work with in creating our dance material. Oops, sorry. That's with Saga. This is Saga on the right of the screen. Saga was one of the early, Saga and Moe both were dancers with Hijikata, Tatsumi Hijikata, who was the founder. There's 2 founders, Kazuo Ono and Tatsumi Hijikata. And Saga and Moe were early dancers in the first company with him. You can see, if you see videos, you will see them in it. They both continued to dance and are still dancing well into their late 70s and still teaching and performing, which is great. It's a real inspiration for me. So I only have a few of Saga's pictures. I worked with a photographer.
That's incredible.
I worked with several different photographers.
Stunning picture.
Yeah, these were fun. This was in Kyoto, and he did he did
Mhm.
some fun stuff. And then I worked with another one in Serbia. And
What piece is this, Julie?
this is from Pledge, that one with the flag. I've
Uh-huh.
changed the costume and the music,
Okay.
and that's the one I did several times. And this
Mhm.
was one of the students dancing. This was the program from Kyoto. Notice they're not in exact order, but that's okay. You all don't really care, do you? What the order was. So this was backside of the program for the Kyoto show. We had guest artists. This was Miyajima Island with little deer. They have these little miniature deer. They're just, and that's where this is. And it's a famous image from Japan, the Torii. And it changes during the tide. The water goes out and you can walk out to it. Water comes in, you can take a boat out to it. So it's kind of beautiful. And there was a nice big buck. These deer were everywhere. We climbed a mountain and saw an amazing view. Yeah, here it is with the people all around it.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. And these are trees. And this thing it's probably 700 years old. It's been sitting in that water.
Mhm.
And how do they keep it? It's trees. These are not plastic or metal, they're trees. Anyway, it's a pretty impressive thing. That's my friend Yoko Mioi, who some of you in this know, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I stayed with her and
Oh.
she's running a coffee shop that belonged to her father. Just a little picture of the shoes out in the studio. This is a famous studio in Japan, in Tokyo. It's small. This is one of the things from the archive, Hijikata's archive. It's got a phallus, it's got a strange hand, it's got some lip. These were all sugar, made of spun sugar, and they were gifts that they gave the audience in early Buto performances.
Mm.
So we went in the back room of the archive, and here's the golden phallus, Hijikata's golden phallus that he wore. Well, it wasn't the real one, they remade it, so everybody was touching it with their hand in their mouth. So he got his golden phallus. Okay. This was a guy on the subway sitting in front of us. I just thought
He's very Buto.
he's very Buddha with his beer. So got his beer anyway. Dog walkers. There were a lot of these around. I don't know. I just took. And here's a strange one.
Oh,
Shibuya.
petting.
You can go pet pigs and sit and hold them, baby pigs. Oh, I was. Oh, sorry. I just think that's weird. Bad for the pigs. I'm sorry. I just don't like that kind of thing. Anyway, I walked down the street and I saw this, all these people sitting around with their pictures and holding pigs and going, Ooh. Anyway, that was one of the things that offended me about Tokyo. Not, if that's the worst thing that happened, hey, fine. And this pictures from the museum. I went to lots of museums and galleries. This is Gagaku Theater is the beginning of No Theater. And this is earlier than this is an old court theater, probably God, very, very old. Gagaku is probably at under 1,000 AD probably started. It's the beginning of samurai. It's the earliest samurai culture, and led to No Theater. I think I saw 5 or 6 No Theater productions this trip. They're kind of expensive, but I saw them. I just had to go. And the last night before I left, I sat on the front row in the very center. I never had this because you always kind of go, oh, I'll sit in the back over here because it's only $65. I'll get the very back chair, and I went, no, I'm going to sit up there. And I did, and it was wonderful. And you can see everything from that one chair. It's just one chair. And this is Jomon figures. I have a archaeology fetish, and I went to this wonderful site. This where the Jomon lived probably 13,000 years ago. They probably were the first people to do pottery. This is the palace in Tokyo. A little bit, that's a gorgeous tree. Anyway, just pictures. This is the geisha district in Kanazawa. It was kind of moody and dark with these street lamps everywhere. And we saw not a nary a geisha. This I noticed there were lots of people sweeping the river. And I was intrigued by that, really. Sweeping
What
the,
does that mean, sweeping the?
sweeping the river. They were getting the flower petals out of, I don't know, they swept the river. There were like 5
Interesting.
people in blue jackets sweeping the river. And that's part of sort of the, I guess, I don't know, just pictures of, that is actually, that's not a very good picture of it, but it is an enormous tree with sticks holding up its branches because they're reaching out 100 feet away from the main trunk.
The Salvador
And they're
Dali
like
tree.
hundreds of years old, this tree. Yeah, it's like a weird Salvador Dali tree. And there's an ancient cherry tree.
Hmm,
Yeah,
That's why I thought of that.
yeah. So they, I love the crutches that they put on trees in the gardens. There's some little fishies. You have to see those, the carp. This is one of the Jomon sites that Zazie, that's Zazie, my student from Warren Wilson, who is still my dear friend. And we went to this site in, now I did do a lot of dancing, but I did a lot of touristing too. This is also from that Jomon site, probably built 8,000 BC. This, anyway, lots of amazing masks, and this was the art museum right across the street from it. This thing is like 75 feet tall, this dog. And it's outside the museum in a little sort of alcove. There's Zazie in the museum. Okay.
Wow.
Now, I also wanted to see sumo, which is one of my favorite things in the world. And I got lots of pictures.
Wow.
And this is their morning practice. I couldn't get into any real matches. So but you can pay $90 and go to their morning practice. And that was actually fun. I really, this is the first time I've ever like did real tourist things. Really. I mean, I did some, but they were amazing. And I just love sumo. This is a really young group. This guy, the black guy, is Ethiopian. He's probably the skinniest one, but I watched him push every one of these fat boys out of the ring. So it was so impressive, and just their sweaty bodies and fingernail scratchings from grabbing their little diapers. They were amazing. Anyway, I got 1,000,000 pictures of the sumo wrestlers. Sorry, I just love them. And I'll keep going. I'm trying. See, and then that's what you're paying big bucks for.
They should get them to come to Buto class.
Yeah, I tell. And one little pic. You're not supposed to take pictures at all inside of the No Theater, but I did. And that was when I had my front row seat. So I was like, okay, I'm taking a picture. And now we're in Angkor Wat, and this is the museum. I'm going to go pretty fast. Cambodia. I was with Andrea, staying at her wonderful little house. This was an experience of a lifetime. This is the botanical gardens. Come on. And there's me at the big place.
Wow.
I must have seen 100 temples. I bought the 7-day pass and spread it out over the month. This place.
So you were there for a full month?
More
Wow.
than 5 weeks.
Wow.
I got 1,000,000 pictures. These are just a
It's
few.
beautiful.
And what a place. What a place. I can't wait to go back. Actually, I really want to go back to Cambodia. And it's right down the street. And Bayonne.
Incredible.
Anyway.
These are amazing pictures too.
And while I was there, I finished my book, which I've been working on since 2009.
Ah, okay.
And I'm trying to get it published now.
Okay.
So that's another probably 10 years. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going through these pretty quickly.
Wow.
And so I worked on my book primarily. I hung out with my friend Andrea and I went to temples. I didn't do any dancing here.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, interesting.
I worked on the book and that was
Yeah.
my, so this is a water wheel.
Oh, not anymore. I was just there for a year.
These are 90 feet, these hallways. I mean, 90 meters, sorry. 90 meters on a side. 4 of them. Boom. And I think Angkor Wat was the first temple or giant, huge mega structure that I've ever been to where, you know, you always go and you go, oh, it looks bigger than it is. This one is bigger than it looks.
Mhm.
I mean, when you can't see it all, you can't see the moat that surrounds it. You can barely see one partial side of the moat. It's just most amazing. And this is Top Rom, where they filmed that movie with the girl archaeologist. And they left the roots because they want people to, you know. And there's me. I really was there. And it's a beautiful place. But these are not the most interesting. I don't think Angkor Wat or Top Rom are the most interesting temples in that whole complex. I liked lots of these little obscure ones that were way off the beaten path. Many, you know, they have many carvings or something really special, like a maze, like set up. Oh, but I've never seen anything that's magical. Magical. I love this place. I'll get lost any day. Yeah, that was one that I went with Andrea. And that was one I really liked. Prairie rope. See, they're just little mazes. And sometimes there'd be one other person there.
Wow.
I had the place to myself quite
Wow.
often.
Was it spooky? I mean, did you have feelings about being there?
Not spooky. I had magical feelings.
Magical feelings.
Yes, and every now and then I'd be just wandering through someplace dark, wet, moldy, mildewy, and come across the most magical thing and feel so like just empowered, and I loved it. I loved it.
So
This was a
that's all been absorbed into your body and psyche and probably ruminating in there creatively and is gonna come
I hope
out
so.
in some work,
Yeah,
some movement,
we'll see.
expression.
We'll see. I hope
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I was kind of blown away by, well, I love archaeology and ruins and kind of ancient history. So that's naturally, this is them churning the sea of milk on, there's like 3 bridges that have these huge figures. I mean, they're bigger than life size. And they line each side of the bridge with all these amazing faces, and they're churning the sea of milk. And there's more Bayonne. Well, I felt like I had a magical vacation, a tour, but I also worked very hard. This was one that's really, really old, built underwater. Andrea and I went to see this one. It's a long way out. You got to really want to go there to go, because it's like 25 miles from the main part of the area anyway. And it's just amazing. All these places. I loved it. I loved it.
Wow.
Dancing. Oh, and I saw some Cambodian dance.
Oh, you did?
I went to
it's
a performance. It was
it's really
wonderful.
beautiful, isn't it?
They almost lost it. You pay a little amount of money. It's not that much. And you get this huge buffet of delicious Cambodian, Thai, every kind of food. And then you get to see a wonderful performance by some really top level professional Cambodian dancers, you know, they've all got the little arched hands. I mean,
No, it's
it's
amazing.
their fingers go
Yeah.
backwards
To do
and
this, like-
they can, you know, bend, they're so flexible and they have, you know, it's all these angles. And they told they did sort of folk dance tales and the Apsara dancers. Anyway, it's pretty magical. This was one of my favorite temples, the one on the left. It's kind of built like a pyramid, and I climbed it and I was really scared because I've never been on, it doesn't look like much, but it was steep. And this is another ruin way up on a hill where you can see Angkor Wat in the distance. It was very cloudy when I was there, but you can kind of see it there. That's Angkor Wat in the distance. But anyway, more of this, and I'm gonna keep going through this. Love these
You got
guys.
Time.
Yeah, tell me if I'm
Here.
Okay, we're good.
minkies, lots of minkies. I'm gonna go through this fast. Anyway, after Cambodia, I went to, I had a very long trip on a Chinese airline and went to London, and I taught 2 days of workshop and did a performance there. And these are trees in the Cambridge Botanical
Oh,
Gardens.
wow. It still looks pretty exotic.
They do with the redwoods and sequoias. They are
Yeah.
exotic for Britain.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And yeah, here we go, redwoods and sequoias. And I love that. I spent time with my friend who lives in Cambridge. We went punting on the River Cam and did the whole tour. And then we went down to Oxford where I taught for another long day of workshop and did a performance in a little theater that used to be a granary. And it was a wonderful experience. They've set it up like a Shakespearean theater. So I had a different experience there. I don't know why I didn't get any pictures, but somehow I did. And I got a video of it. But and anyway, here's more botanical gardens.
And Julie and I just missed each other in England because I was leaving just like a day or two before she was arriving.
Oh, and then I went
But
to Devon.
we went
I
like
down
that.
south. Yeah, we missed each other completely. I went down to Devon. This is an ancient tree. It's like probably 600 years old, they said, the one on the right. And old church ruins. And this is where I stayed in this little thatch roof house with my friend, the Russian oligarch's daughter. And this sort of more. This is Scotland, Constance's house, her
Oh,
little house
excellent.
in the view of from the Isle of
Wow.
Bute. That's the white cow and white cow with tree. The cow was like, I thought he glowed. Okay, there's a jellyfish with a face on it and a seal.
Wow.
Those we saw lots. That was so beautiful. And there's many sheep
Sheep.
and more seals.
Sheep.
Oh, it was full. And ruins. Julie likes the ruins. That's us walking in Scotland. That's Edinburgh. And more, you know, you have to have the picture of the guy playing the bagpipes. And this is us in Edinburgh Botanical Gardens. I did some botanical gardens. Edinburgh and sculptures and things. So now we're in Belgrade. Okay. Yeah, okay, there's a quick trip for me too. And oh, I want to play you one thing. I do want to play you this. In this water here, there was, I went there, we got really stoned with some Bulgarian musicians. And then we went down to, at night, down to this, this is a canals. These canals were built by who was the queen of the Yugoslavian Empire? Name somebody who's better at history than me.
Austro-Hungarian.
The Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Probably one of the Catherines or.
Charlotte, Catherine, I don't know. She built these canals so that people would have water. So there's miles and miles and miles of them. And so then I took a recording, God, where does it live? Sorry, a recording of these, here it is. The night sounds. This was the night sounds. I hope I still have it. Yes, there it is. So.
Oh,
Nice. That was wonderful.
It's different than I feel.
wow, that's fantastic.
And I want to do something with this.
I think it's a bird. I might be a night star.
Might be. Yeah.
Claire, you know anything about birds?
Well, this is Serbia. Or no, sorry, yeah, Belgrade. This is,
It's gonna be across Europe. We don't have those birds here.
anyway, so that goes on for about 3 minutes. And I
Not a night.
I did the International Performance Art Festival in Belgrade, which has been going on for 7 years. They do big, what is it? The name for a band?
Yeah, the deafening frogs.
The Deafening Frogs, yes. But we did this performance in Belgrade. It was people from Spain and France and of course, Belgrade artists, Serbian artists, and
And Marco was there?
Marco was not there because they wouldn't let him leave. They wouldn't let him. They wouldn't, he's trying to
Oh,
get
that's right, he's
visa
still in
in Germany.
Berlin, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So anyway, just pictures. And another picture of the canal with the moonlight. And the canals are everywhere. People fish in them. And this was this weird church filled with birds and guano, pigeons. And I mean, thick, but it was kind of a magical church. And everything was intact with the chairs and everything about it. But there were pigeons everywhere and their feathers and their guano, but it was kind of a cool place. This is a little city out that we went to that had little museums and important buildings. And this was the festival, the live art festival that see, Marco was supposed to perform in it. His name is on it. And this was the people that performed. There were like 3 Buto dancers, which is great. And this is Hillary and I doing some photos.
Hillary.
Another session, I got to hang out with my friend Hillary, who was an artist who lived in Asheville for many years. And we did a photo session with this, and we had so much fun.
That's fabulous.
So. And this was part of the performance
Oh,
festival,
wow.
one of the artists. I took a few pictures of, and this is where we stayed in Belgrade. It was like in the middle of the city, but it felt like the country. So there's skyscrapers all around us. This was part of the botanical gardens. They made sculptures. Come on, you can do it. Change. This was one of the pieces with meat. You've got to have raw meat in a performance art festival.
Of course.
She ground up all this raw meat and then ate it. She put lots of capers and pepper and horseradish, and she just decorated it, stirred it, and then she just sat and delicately ate it in her little, I think she should have been naked and not, I don't know why she was wearing that stupid leotard. That seems silly. And this was 2 other pieces. Sky did this poem from this position. It was about a fallen angel. It was kind of beautiful. And this was a Buto piece. Another piece with rocks and dirt. Going on and on. You can see the audience. We're all in here. Another piece. And he did really interesting. He made stamps with letters and numbers, and we started pasting them all over him. And then we pasted them on ourselves.
That's you.
This is me. doing my
Doing your
piece.
wall piece.
My wall piece, yeah.
Hmm.
And so I did this in a little space, but it was one of my favorite spaces I've ever done it. This
Cool.
is this huge monument is in Tbilisi. We're now in Georgia. Tbilisi is the end of the trip. Tbilisi, Georgia. And this is a monument outside of the city of Tbilisi that tells the history of Georgia as well as the history of Christianity. Was that right, Andrea? Would you say that, Andrea? Would you say?
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, it promises to cover a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a history of Georgia and it's very Christian themed. And they're monumental. These buildings are, I mean, they're not buildings, they're just standing stones. And they're quite beautiful. That's it from a distance, like looms. And there's a giant lake reservoir right next to it. That's it. And that's, I performed this piece in Kyoto, and also in Aomori
The pledge.
Pledge,
is,
yeah. And it's changed quite a bit from the way I originally did it. I had some feedback from Katsura Khan, who
Hmm.
was really helpful. He said, for one thing, you move too much movement and the music is the same. The music probably makes you move. You should change the music. So he helped me do this and I changed it and I love the music now. It's Native American,
Interesting.
Frank Sinatra, and circus music.
That's
It's
pretty
perfect.
American.
And it was Wayne Kirby before. I did this originally with Wayne Kirby. And now I've taken his music out and I hate it, but it's better.
Yeah.
And it's not his music, it's that the piece is better with that. So, and that's the end.
Wow.
And I had a wonderful time and I'm doing it again.
So this was like what period of time were
So
you?
I left the end of January. I returned home the end of July, so it was 6
Okay,
months,
6 months, like just one after the other.
one after the other.
Yeah, wow. And had you been out of town like since Hurricane Helene before that?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
that was, you've been,
Yeah,
were you gone when it happened?
I was gone when Helene happened.
You were going.
I was on my way home.
Yeah,
I was on my
right.
way home from Massachusetts.
Right, and
Yeah.
then so you've been in and out really that
Yeah,
whole
the whole
whole
year.
time, this whole year, yeah, like the same as I have.
Yeah.
But
Just coming and
yeah,
going.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's
but that's intense, like a whole real 6 months of intensive.
longest I was ever gone was 11 months. That time I went to India and
Yeah,
Greece and I went all over Italy, all over the place. And but 6 months is long enough to
yeah.
stay gone, I think, because I get kind of antsy. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm ready, but when I come home, I always feel like it's too much to be home.
And
So-
you took like the your costumes and props and stuff with you?
Yes,
Okay.
and then I
for
mailed
that.
some of them back. I mailed 2 boxes home
Oh,
and
leave the meeting, stop, I mean, stop
stop the
share,
meeting.
stop share.
Share.
And you can actually leave the meeting as well if you want, it doesn't matter either way.
Because I can look at that now, right? Okay, I'm leaving the meeting.
Okay.
Don't want to make any mistakes.
Leave meeting.
Leave meeting. There we go.
Do you have another bathroom? Because suddenly I have to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay,
After
because it's time for
Maybe it's my
you.
Yeah.
Your nervous condition.
Diana's in the bathroom. Is there another?
There is, but
I think she's coming out.
okay. Yeah, I just blocked off that
Does
whole back
anyone need
section
this?
there.
Does anybody need this?
Since we're waiting for Martha, does anyone have any questions for Julie?
Yeah, I mean, that was long and intense.
Well, we're waiting for Martha now anyway, so
I'll answer questions.
stay here.
Oh, okay, just stay here, stay here,
Does,
stay here.
Very nice, Julie.
yeah, does
Thanks.
anyone have any questions,
you.
comments, anything?
Okay, What's in
Well,
the
I
book?
know. When you, once you come back from the trip, do you find that you need to like just take at least, say, 2 weeks or a month to just give yourself a chance to digest and chew on what you've experienced during that time?
Well, I probably should, but I don't usually. I usually kind of come back and slide in sideways and, you know, hit the ground running and.
But you had to this time
Yeah.
because you had
Yeah.
the Buto Festival to,
And I had to go up north
Organize.
before I,
right,
yeah, I had to do a little tour.
yeah.
Yeah, it's, but I do try to find a little time to rest up. I know. Well,
Living it.
I don't know, I'm trying. I like it. I like what I'm doing.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.
That was intense. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Here, I'm gonna give you your phone as well.
Sit over, where can I wanna sit where I can see. Oh,
Well,
good, yeah.
Martha's moving from
Okay,
the
so-
big chair. Hey.
Mhm.
So you're
I guess
on.
am I already on there?
You're on,
Okay, and I gotta have that.
but we need to get you so we can see you.
Look at that. Okay,
Do you want?
that was
Okay, so
so
you're. we can-
inspirational.
Yeah, so do you
Yeah.
want to pull up your share screen?
Yeah.
So that you've got it all.
See, where is it at again?
You
Can't
need
remember.
to, get onto the meeting, come back to it. Where did it go? Okay, just click on the meeting, open it up. And then at the bottom, you go to share screen. And then start broadcast.
Yeah, I know, figured out what that's gonna be, but, I'm gonna use almost.
And then
I've taken all these photographs for years.
And then you can swipe it up
The.
Okay.
and,
Bodies.
Okay.
there we go.
And then look, I keep taking pictures.
And then you, yeah, and then you're on. Oh, where did it go? Your share screen, where did it go?
Figured out was how.
Keep it up. Oh, okay. All right, so,
They don't have to. be
all right, so we can still see. So you,
Okay, so
All right.
now let me see.
so, okay, so I'm gonna introduce
Oh,
Martha.
gosh, I took a bunch of pictures, so I like, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so this is Martha Skinner. And Martha's not from around here originally. Can you give us a little bit of background about just to put you into context with where you're from, a little bit of background about where you're from, your skill set, and how you ended up kind of into what you're doing now, and how you ended up in Asheville. I mean, like really just like a very basic
Okay.
kind of frame so we
Okay,
can understand.
I have to be careful, I don't end up like taking up the whole 20 minutes.
Right, but just super
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I'm from Colombia, South America, and I came here at 13, and I study architecture. I used to be an architecture professor, so I was near here and started coming to Asheville and ended up here and eventually ended up in Marshall.
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah, I know, it's like, wow.
yeah.
Yeah, so do you feel like you're mostly very much based as part of the Asheville community? Do you feel like you're also connected nationally, internationally? Like what's the balance of your like local, global
Yeah.
kind of work as an artist, would you say?
Well, a couple years ago, I got very involved with NFTs,
Right.
And
Yes.
that was actually really interesting in terms of connecting with people all over the world, which was really great.
Mhm.
So I made a lot of artist friends everywhere.
Oh
and-
yeah, I'd say what
Yeah.
NFTs, just for
No-
anyone that doesn't know, because I
Oh,
didn't know what that was.
Yeah, non-fungible tokens.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I got burned out. I did it for, I don't know how long I did it for. I got really burned out because everything was online and I really needed to touch things and to
Right.
be in physical space. And I remember like also having to be an avatar in order to attend my exhibitions. And I would get all these, like I would get the cubital tunnel syndrome, and I couldn't get into the meeting because I don't know, it's just I was struggling with the equipment and my computer's very old, and all these young people would be over there like, yeah, it was just, and but it's interesting. I
So
see
you're
my
not
whole
doing so
screen's
much
being
of that
shown up there.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I lost. I wish I was able to balance it, but I just went kind of really in
Mhm.
another direction with being touching things.
But
And,
you make work that you can easily send
Mhm.
anywhere also, right?
Well, yeah, actually,
So-
before I got involved with NFTs, I'll actually I always have been doing an interplay between physical space and virtual space,
Mhm.
and also like individual and collective, and so I'm always kind of dealing with these two, with these two
Mhm.
forces of kinds of things that don't seem to belong together, poetic and scientific,
Mhm.
craft and conceptual. Yeah. And but yeah, I was doing that of like doing stuff.
Yeah,
with-
and just also
Mhm.
to um kind of put you in the context of the wake of the hurricane, you were very affected because you were living in Marshall, right? So your whole studio was
Yeah.
like in a building that got
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much, right?
Yeah. And I feel conflicted right now because when you said, "What's up?"
Mhm.
What else can I talk about?
Right.
So I am, and but I refer to my work as a drawing, and me being the drawing, and the drawing being my process, and my life being the drawing. So this is part of it, and I'm going to talk quite a bit about it today.
Okay.
But it's and it feels like so gloomy after hearing such inspirational presentation. But I think
Yeah.
actually it has its own.
Yeah,
has its
but
own-
we're
it
talking
has its
about
own process.
where you're
Where I'm at, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
the
And
the reality
Yeah.
of everything, right?
yeah.
So
And actually, I just also want to thank you because I just love being here with everybody. This is wonderful. It's just so wonderful to be catching up, to
yeah.
see you all, and to prepare this,
Mhm.
to take a moment to like see all of this, kind of get out of it and see it from another perspective, and
Right,
make
yeah.
a link,
So
start to make some linkages between some interesting things that are happening, but it all
Yeah.
feels like being underwater.
Right? Oh
Yeah,
wow, yeah.
yeah.
Kind of literally.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will
So
step back and let you take the reins here.
So I am gonna have kind of a very choreographed little choreograph. My daughter always tells me, you're not choreographing," but I do use that word a lot. That's maybe another discussion, but um I that would be, I don't want to get too much out of the out of the framework. So, well, what's happening here? I will start with this, which is a little introduction, and I guess it's going to be without sound. Is it playing?
Is there sound in it?
No, but I'm not going to play
Okay.
with sound because I'm going to speak over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I create drawings that are spaces and performances, playfully subverting and transforming issues through works emerging as celebrations of life. From inhabitable to wearable, drawings as vehicles for connection. I lived in Marshall, North Carolina. I know everybody here knows where that is. The poetic little town north of Asheville, which was swallowed by the very old French Broad River, which during the Helene hurricane grew beyond its size. In Marshall, North Carolina, I lived and worked. My commute by foot involved going over the bridge to my studio, an old high school, on an island, and to an old mill, and the downtown strip to other jobs. I evacuated twice as I saw the water of the river behind my home rise faster and higher than I had seen it before. I went to my daughters, who couldn't grasp what was going on, and whose entire neighborhood, the River Arts District in Asheville, drowned too. As we watched the water circle her building, a neighbor knocked on the door to inform us that he could hear water in the elevator shaft. We grabbed cats, water, food, and fled from the back of the building in his car. Before the flood, I evacuated 2 places. I guess I'm just kind of splice together a bunch of things. Yeah. I'm going to switch to Before the flood, I evacuated to 2 places. The flood, I've lived in 7 different places while looking for a home. In the first home, I collected water. I guess I would have liked to have visuals for all of this, but
That was good
Yeah.
for that. I mean,
Yeah,
that
and
worked with what you were saying.
and I'm gonna insert a few different visuals in here, but
Yeah.
some of them is just gonna be my words. In the first home, I collected water, though that was the 3rd place I had collected water. Others mocked me. Not everyone deals with stress the same way. To some, preparing is stressful. In the second home, I packed up home, though that went on for months. When I was done, I found out I had to pack my studio. When I was done with that, I found out I had to pack my 7th home. I had just finished collecting things that had been scattered in many places for a year. Skip ahead, I am both packed up and scattered again. In that second home, on my first night there, I was reunited with my dad's ashes, important papers, and a tiny sewing machine of a beloved woman who lived to be 100 years old. I woke up in the middle of the night, disoriented. That prior day, as the sky darkened, I had been sitting by a pile of debris. Can you pronounce that better? Debris, thank you.
But I like the way you say it.
Yeah, thank you. Debris. 2 stories. I've been having some trouble with my pronunciation just out of all of this. High, 2 stories high, with a man who told me that the next day the cadaver dogs were coming. He would later call me selfish because I was trying to get my most beloved things out of my studio. My tiny cart unintentionally ended up in the way of heavy machinery because I got delayed waiting for help with an injured knee that had finally completely given out. The 3rd home was so meticulously set up, it provided a startling juxtaposition to the imagery of lost homes and scattered belongings in the mud that we had been witnessing for weeks, while community bonded, shoveling mud daily. Leaves turned colors and began to fall. Then I arrived to a vintage RV with a sauna. I should add, my daughter was there for this string of homes. I fetched her from Asheville, which was without water for months. It was cold there. We huddled under an electric blanket. At this home, I took a hike up a hill for a bird's eye view of things and realized I am just a nomad. I materialized that scenario because I am a nomad in my heart too. I told myself to relax and enjoy the process and that home would come. After the RV, I had a brief week at a farm where the memory and realization came that I'd been on the other side of this story. I guess it's going to have audio.
Carolina. This is a breaking news alert.
Monday, August 29th, 2005. Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast, putting 80% of New Orleans underwater. 1 million people were displaced. 200,000 Gulf Coast homes destroyed. Now some upstate professors are trying to help those left homeless. They've come up with a way to get those who escaped Hurricane Katrina back on their feet. And their idea may help storm-ravaged areas rebuild faster and more efficiently in the future as well. Hurricane Katrina, when it hammered the Gulf Coast a year and a half ago, no one imagined the impact it would have. Thousands of people are still not back home. Some have moved away. Others are living in temporary housing. Now there's a plan in the works to change that.
We've come up with this proposal that brings them back to their home site so that they can begin putting their lives back together.
Clemson University students and professors have come up with models to show their dry-in house idea. The concept to allow hurricane victims to rebuild on their own land quickly and affordably.
For $60,000, you get a family back into a
Structures can be put up in a single day.
So that was back in.
Gosh, it was 2004.
Right.
Actually, yeah.
That was referring to
Uh-huh.
Katrina, right?
That was Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
you had been part of a group, an architecture group that was developing.
yeah. And we went over there and we're just like completely blown away by what we were seeing,
Wow.
which is
Okay.
actually what we've been living this past year. Yeah. Yeah. And then actually, that's still playing. Okay.
It's starting.
Okay. So then, this went on. I guess I will. Would you just scroll through that while I read?
Yeah. I'm gonna put the
Just all you have to do
I'm
is just
gonna put the
like just no. All you have to do is
the sound back down.
yeah.
YouTube.
You just have to hit that. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be a designer of homes, and in particular homes to get people housed after natural disasters. Intricate structure studies that intertwine systems in place to implement emergency homes with all that is needed quickly, including emergency gardens and keeping people in community. The idea that I could be at the receiving end of this was an emotional process, but I also wanted to get to the place where I could help others too. Again, like I used to, a role that I had with intensity and deep focus and commitment. I was also there to implement this, receiving touching letters from people in need of homes. My role ended when I had to abruptly switch to support my daughter during a very difficult time in our lives. That process actually led me to the loss of home at that time, 13 years away ago. This also involved several projects that were about this. Maybe I don't have to show them all right now, but the other ones were with Haiti, actually the not the hurricane, the earthquake in Haiti. Yeah, I guess I had that set up to be able to go to see Haiti. It's not. I guess I didn't really set it up. Okay. My home has been a recurring theme. A lot of my art series are about home, are about this. My home is incomplete, my home is everywhere. And of course, emergency homes. So small.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a
Diana.
recurring theme, isn't it?
I get to look at that every day.
Right.
Oh gosh, this is actually, I will stop because the format on the phone is everything in a row instead of like a field of images. So I will stop it there. Eventually post here, yeah, my home is everywhere. And of course, emergency homes. I'm also someone who was displaced at age 13 from my birth home, coming to a foreign home, which is now home, and yet is it home? Eventually, post Hurricane Helene displacement, I was told there was a woman that wanted me to live at her farm in a yurt. I wonder who this woman was. When I visited, everything felt perfect, as if the imagery that I had put out there had materialized. Horses that walked up to our windows, the sounds and smells of nature hugging us, a bathtub, a skylight, and a bamboo living room outside on beautiful land. I realized I had been there before to collect bamboo. That was my seventh home, though really my eighth. There, my daughter and I got to be reunited with our cats, finally. We spent months nesting, setting up home. I had not done this in a long time before the hurricane. Also, following other displacements, but it seemed extra necessary at this particular time. Nesting and moving as I was still moving out of my apartment on the river. Once I finished that, the studio project to move out of it fell on my lap. Another move. When I finished that, as a complete shock, the yurt also got threatened. Home being pulled from under me again. A place I had planned and committed to be in until June of 2026. The year started with speech therapy. My voice was weak and my words were getting mangled. My tongue didn't move as fluidly as it used to. I got stuck with certain sounds. I had a series of visualizations done, swallowing, talking, whistling. And there, the need for speech therapy was ruled out. I was told I needed trauma therapy, which was insisted as I kept not hearing it. I made it to a few sessions. The therapist stopped taking insurance. I had one last session where she told me that it was imperative that I rest. Both therapists and doctors said my brain needed healing and would heal with rest. I got the opposite of rest. The next 3 months, my landlady was going through her own stress and pressuring me to move out early, while the yurt also became unlivable. For 3 months, I tried to move while paying for a home I had no access to. Here.
The residency.
Well, it's too bad it's so small, but it's very delicate. Earlier in the year, I was invited to do the lamplight residency. I visited the site and realized it had been in a dream. Several years ago, in that triangular space flooded with light, I had woven myself into a cocoon for days. When the invitation came, it felt as if that's exactly what I needed to do right then and there. But I wanted to get all the moving out of the way to be fully present in that process. That's before the moving became endless. We coordinated for the residency to take place in the summer, which by the time it happened, it coincided with when the yurt had become uninhabitable. Ticks were crawling on me and 3 attached to my head in a 2-week period. Then the space became deadly hot. Ironically, the residency became both art and home. I invited community to join me. My kitty joined too. And Claire was there, which was amazing.
And this was where?
At the Lamplight
Lamplight
in West Asheville.
And I had
And-
just got back
Yeah.
from my summer touring.
Yeah, and I didn't know that she had been gone all this time. Where do I go? So just, and this is so small, but Yeah, I wove my cocoon with the participation of community. Everyone was invited. Together we played experiments with a thin line, limp and linear, giving it form, purpose, space as we held each other up. My creative space, which was open for collective nodding and weaving, expressive explorations as varied as each of us, became the stage for mini performances and collective weaving meditations. Notations in space that were gifted to my process as delicate sculptures, singular and collective, then I did that I then intertwined into a big piece. Held by string, we held each other in community, gaining strength by each other's participation. When I moved out of the artist residency, I was also in the middle of another move. As I prepared to dismantle the exhibit, I received a text putting into question whether I could follow through with my new temporary home, an electrical issue in question. Has this, no. I became overwhelmed with stress to know that in 2 days I was to move and the location to still be in question challenged me fully. The stress was so strong I broke into both immediate hunger, tears, and nausea. And immediately after, I was overcome with an all encompassing migraine. There was nothing I could do but overcome the migraine. There's Claire. I got a call from a friend, and since she's been trying to reach me for a few days, I answered. She knew immediately I wasn't okay and guided me on how to cocoon myself. Cocooning, which was the name of the project, a collaborative cocooning, ended with me in the farthest corner of the space where I happened to be, curled up into a ball, blinds closed, head wet. I did this for however many hours it took while I both calmed, hugged myself, and came up with solutions that pleased me and freed me. I overcame the headache and while still a little nauseous, I completed the dismantle. It seemed endless and it was hard. While I did that, I reflected on impermanence and on how hard it is to let go of each place I make home. I reflected on the temporality aspect of my art and how that's also hard. Each step a ritual of hanging onto a process, life fully touched. Post hurricane, in my displacement, I had chosen to live in Marshall, to be close to community and to my studio. Since I had to do repetitive and endless moves, I couldn't make it to the beautiful and bonding activities created by the various organizations that formed. I sought help, but felt like the help wasn't there. I became isolated and feeling very alone and abandoned. I realized the exhaustion and trauma added to those feelings. The landlady had been yelling for 3 months that I was causing her to sell her farm, that she needed me to move out. The inflated rent that I paid for the tent was pennies to her compared to what tourists who come for fall season pay. She wanted us to break the lease. I tried to move out of the home that I could not access for 3 months. The accelerated deadline was too much for me, though I tried. I asked for help. While in that intense process, I had some worrisome physical symptoms, and urgent care sent me to the hospital. My move got delayed another month. As of 3 weeks, I'm finally out of the home that for 3 months I could not access, and at my ninth home that is not home. One of those nights when I had no access to home or to my kitty, I thought, what is shifting here? What am I being asked to do? I stayed up all night trying to figure out where I would travel to live. Actually, I wasn't going to share this, but I will. I came up with Mexico in the middle of the night. I knew, I don't know, I just and I researched, I watched videos, I watched the map of Mexico, and I knew that there was a place where I was like really tightly connected to, and that is actually Mexico City, but I didn't want to be in a very large city. So Merida was actually the place that was really calling me. I found out that my meridian, my Mercury sign is connected to that place, but actually where I'm most aligned is Mexico City. I also looked into living there, and for 1/6 of the price of what I was paying for the place that I could not access, I would have a home with a pool, and it doesn't matter, but I would be in this place in Mexico. Um, but that's what some of the things that have gone through my mind, but I am kind of not in my normal place of adventure and exploration. I'm kind of in this fearful place that comes out of being in this traumatic experience. I know that right now I am planning some of that stuff, but what I really want is a furnished temporary home while I rest and figure out home. This place, did they start playing again? Okay, I guess it's okay. We can stop it. I know this is actually like, yeah. This place, I've been feeling it in my body, in the effects it has had on me. I can only imagine the effect that it is having on others in my community and others nationwide and worldwide dealing with the increase of natural disasters. I can only imagine what it feels for those snatched out of their cars and homes and abruptly and violently separated from their families. I can only imagine what it is like for those displaced and terrorized by war. Oh, is it playing? Why am I'm seeing me?
Think
It's-
you should maybe the phone shut off for a moment, so you might need to go back
Okay.
in and to hang on there into screen sharing again.
It shut down. He probably didn't know. It was, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. So then just swipe up here.
And swipe again.
Yeah.
And then go to,
And
oh, well, here we go. Mark, you're in this video. I think,
Oh.
kind of. So this is just a series of just images of things I was making and creating during this process of displacement.
It's amazing how you were able to do any creating
I know,
at all.
but but it did happen. It was helpful to go back to my photos and see this stuff because you get really buried, you know.
Yeah.
So watercolors post-flood, my Tyvek suit transformed for the Dirty Broad fashion show. I called it masked because if you can see up close, I have the breeding mask on my breast, which referenced another project that created a big uproar in Marshall, which was
Right,
the
I
plastic
remember.
costume with the bottles. So there's that, and actually these are photographs by Sarah Decker in her tintypes. Yeah, and then these are reflections at the yurt. And then there were a lot. I have a lot. I didn't actually put them on here. Photographs of the ground plane, reclaiming our ground plane, all of the things. These are actually collages during a processing trauma session called Creating Calm After Chaos with Amy Lloyd.
Oh.
And then I did an embroidery thing that I went with my daughter bi-monthly because it's something she wanted to do. This is a contribution to a quilt organized by Maya Sordam for Page called Stories from the Storm. I was thinking of, and then this is Cocoon, my collaborative installation at Lamplight. And then this is Tiny Art You Wear, just a few examples of some of the new pieces that I created I actually did a big production of that. I have a lot more of these, but I'm only showing one. That line is on top of that. These were captures, time lapses of Marshall day and night from above when I was staying. And I guess I forgot to mention, I stayed at a hotel, the Marshall Inn, I think it's called, from which I kind of resisted being at because I didn't want to be in downtown Marshall. I really didn't want to be there. But it was ended up being an interesting, it was the entire time that I was there, I was making time lapses day and night, and sneaking in a little hot plate for cooking myself food, which I actually ended up getting in trouble for. Not in trouble for, but I was told I couldn't do that. This is Seed Home, which actually a tiny cabin that came to me, and this is the view that I was framing. I had moved, I went through a process of moving everything from my studio into that space, which was going to be my studio after I lost my studio. And but then I found out once I got everything from the studio into there that I had to move out of this. So I couldn't actually use this space. But that was that was such a healing and grounding situation of having that that little beginning of a home, which referenced the homes that I used to do, kind of like a mini version of the types of projects that I used to do. But I was living in these kind of like dreams of like a home and transitioning. So I would say that right now, the most important project that I have is my seed home. It is actually what had kept me up, and it's actually what has kept me up in the middle of the night and weighed me down when I tried to resolve my last displacement. While it is my seed home, a minimized version of the visions I had for others, when I was the other end of the story, it is heavy, it requires a place for it, and that has been challenging. I have an idea of how to stretch time to regain clarity, though it is within, and to give time for leaf season to be over so that temporary homes that are furnished become available. What I see clearly now is a studio. Actually, I'm not even seeing the home anymore. I'm imagining this big open space for my art. Within it is a home. I actually had this other thing that I was going to interject within some of these visuals, but I didn't get to time this. I think I still have time, right?
We're getting on, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering, maybe Richard, do you wanna set up, because you've got things to set up?
What I'm
Do
thinking,
you want to set up and then we
what I'm
can
thinking is
finish up
set
with
up
Martha?
here,
Okay,
and I can just sit in that chair and hold what I'm playing in my lap.
okay,
So we don't have, and it won't take very long, just.
but
set
you
it up.
need to plug in, don't
But
you?
there's a plug there
Okay,
and one down here, so I think I'm good.
and that kind of plug is fine?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I think I will just mention this because I think I don't know if some of the points and if it's all coming together, but I was trying to show displacement from this perspective, but I also pulled out some definitions, some simple definitions. To remove from the usual or proper place, specifically to expel or force to flee from home or homeland. Move physically out of position implies an ousting or dislodging. I thought it was important to define place, a particular position or point in space, a particular position, finding home or employment, space, atmosphere, job, plaza. I'll skip some of these. I'll go to this variance or less common, this slang to treat with disrespect or contempt, slang to find fault, to criticize, slang, disparaging remark or act. And then I took a little fragment from Global Mental Health Overview that speaks about displacement during circumstances such as war, natural disasters, persecution, and other forms of violence, and what happens to the brain. So, but anyway, I just a little, it's fine. This is what I need. This is exactly what I need. This is very healing and rest. And
So
it's
with
like,
this
yeah.
research that you found, like definitions of
Mhm.
displacement, yeah.
Yeah, I just took it, yeah, and then this just kind of looking at it from outside because I'm experiencing it and I'm just putting that out there. Also because let's see, I feel it. It's like being underwater. I'm fearful, doubting. I know a lot of us are feeling this for various reasons. I wanted to share my experience also to shed light on others and to inform the ones who don't understand. I looked it up to share it in words too. And so then I found some resources for the definitions of these things. Uh, Community support in particular is instrumental in promoting mental health. It provides an environment of acceptance, understanding, and encouragement that helps individuals manage their conditions and regain their footing. By fostering such supportive communities, we can contribute significantly to alleviating the global mental health crisis. What I'll say is that because of the continuous moves in my experience, and I can't even imagine what it's like for the people that are dealing with this at another level, it's like you can't get to those things. They're there and they're there for us.
But the
But
resources,
we can't get to them.
you need
And the-
resources to be able to access the resources,
Yeah.
right? Or somebody
Mhm.
just to come and
Yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then I just feel like there's probably so many people out there just lost in this sea of need, just completely, yeah. So exactly. And so it's interesting that I got to experience this from the other end. But I didn't get to really talk because I wasn't going to put the focus on that. I wanted to talk about what's going on now. I didn't get to explain the projects that I had designed way back when, which were very sensitive projects without having experiences.
I'm gonna just
So,
stop the screen,
but-
stop the screen share thing.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that feels very vulnerable too.
Yeah, 'cause
But
I'm
it
just
is,
gonna hit
yeah.
leave so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
so that we can open up the big screen.
But I
Okay,
could,
we're in a big,
yeah.
the big meeting.
All right.
So
And
yeah, I mean that I mean you found you had to find materials to still continue with your art, right? I mean like there was
that
stuff,
all happened. That all happened very naturally.
yeah.
That
But you
I
didn't have access to your studio anymore.
No.
So and you didn't even have
That was-
materials, but that wasn't a
That
problem.
was very that was very that happened
That-
all that happened very fluidly. I didn't have to try. One of them was just the watercolors at one of the homes that I was at. Another one was I went to this thing and they provided materials. Those were the things that
But they were all
those
the
were-
right colors.
yeah.
They were all the
Well-
colors that you needed.
Yeah, well, I pick them out of like everything that's there. Yeah. But I guess those things were like in other places.
Well, that was just
Like,
what was available, but it seems like those
Yeah.
are a lot of the colors you were working with anyway. I mean, look at your
Yeah.
earrings. These are,
Well, I guess
Yes,
one
sure.
thing too is that all of these things are things that you manifest
yeah.
and things that you attract and things that so, and I know that there's actually there's a conflict that I've been having, which is like wanting to have a home but also wanting to be this nomad exploring the world.
Mhm.
And I have this conflictive, and it's
But you want it to be a choice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
the nomadic stuff, you want it to be a choice.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing like your like chaotic reality and like how you managed to still find very focused creativity
Yeah.
within all that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for having me. Yeah. I thought we were off of screen, but I realized we are still on screen. We just stopped sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I look forward.
Thank you. Richard. Yeah.
You do Richard?
Do, yeah, there's extra water like here and there if anyone wants it. So Richard's in the hot seat now. Do you need to plug in?
This is what I want to do.
You need
Yeah, I need to plug it, but that's not a problem.
well,
What I would
plug
like-
in and then
What
I'm
I would like to
gonna
do
start.
is make some sounds first,
Sorry, I just knocked this.
and then we can talk a little.
Oh, you want to make sounds first?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to give a, let's say, a context.
All right. Richard's gonna switch around the order and he's gonna do stuff.
Yeah, so.
Do you want to say anything about yourself first or just play?
Not to start with,
All right.
this is gonna be experiential. Right. I hope this doesn't try to connect to someone's Bluetooth. Okay. So. Should be working.
Oh, you mean the thank you. But then we did.
That's the end of the performance.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're doing everything in reverse now, so
Okay.
I'll introduce you at the very end.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
right.
what
It'll
were
be
you
exactly
what
backwards.
were you just doing, and what
Well,
was that?
I was doing what I like to do, which is improvise on the little electronic sound making machines. And this is one that I've built, I guess, in the last year. It's not my design. It's available to purchase, but I built it from a kit. What I like to do is uh, improvise for people. That's my favorite thing to do, and sometimes to collaborate with other people. And I actually have played this one out about a month ago. There was a little gathering in the park, and I took this and I played it outside for a little bit longer than this period of time. So it's this instrument itself is a wholly digital machine.
How long have you had that one?
Maybe, I don't know, 6 months or so.
Okay.
When I bought it
Fairly
because I wanted specifically to use it to do this, to play for people. And but I haven't had that much of a chance to do it lately. This is only the second time. And I have a whole collection of different little instruments that I can improvise with that make different sounds. So I'm all about presence, paying attention to what a sound is, that if you're properly listening to a sound, basically everything else, all of your other thoughts will sort of leave your mind and you will just hear the sound. Arthur Schopenhauer famously said, he said, music is the most immediate representation of the will. And of course, he was not thinking of this type of music. But and I don't know whether even this is properly music. I leave that up for other people to argue about. I just call it sounds, and I like the immediacy of it. And I like the idea that if I'm playing to a group, if everyone, or at least some people, are concentrating or just paying attention or listening, everyone is experiencing something maybe a little different from everyone else, but there's a lot of commonality. So it brings you together to realize something's going on in your brain that's going on in the next person's brain. Everybody likes to go to big concerts and so on, and I think that's one of the reasons. But I think that real music is live music, whatever kind it is. So I don't really do recordings. I mean, I make recordings as documents of what I do, and I have a website and a YouTube channel. But those are just sort of kind of snapshots, what John Cage called postcard recordings. The recording to the live is sort of like, he said, it's like if you go to the beach and you send a postcard back, it's not the same as the beach. And that's how I view recordings, really. So I like the experience of happening here and now. It allows us to become more present. And I think that's true of most art that captivates your attention. I know that, for example, when I'm listening to certain music, I'm really focused on it. Now, I'm a person who likes to focus. whatever it is I'm doing. I concentrate basically on one thing at a time. So that's basically my approach. Recently, I guess, since I started doing this. Now, I don't really understand the music that I make. I don't really have a theory of it, apart from it's being immediate and it's being somewhat unexpected. And I like to work with instruments that participate with me and they give me something, and that's what this does. It'll start doing it's based on a feedback loop, a digital feedback loop. And it's designed to sort of go into different resonances and kind of surprise you. And then you've got some controls. You can play with what it's doing. But you notice at some point it might fade out. And it might come back. And all that's fine.
Yes, that leads into what I was gonna ask you. This is a fairly recent instrument
Yes, this is pretty
that you've
recent.
been working with
Yeah.
for the last few months. So is it kind of making you interact with it in a way that's different to other instruments? Is it leading you sound wise into something?
Yeah, every instrument that I play, and this is similar in a way to a modular synthesizer, which is most of what I do. Except this one I don't have to patch together. It's basically all unified concept by essentially a software designer.
So it's a kind of pre-patched.
Yeah, it's pre-patched and it's all set up and ready to play. So it's kind of out of the box thing.
And the physical interaction with it, the gestures.
Well, I know what the controls do, but I don't know what turning one of them, like right at this moment, is going to exactly do.
Right.
So it's not that precise of a control. So that's what I like. It's something that's going to.
So that's your conversation with the instrument in a way.
Yeah. And I have other instruments that I play by touch. And some that I have a mode of what some people have called composition, where I set something up and it goes through a lot of self evolution or convolution and plays by itself. I think I'm moving a little bit away from that because people have told me, people here in Asheville who've listened to me play, say they like to hear me improvise more than set something up and kind of let it run. The other thing that I'll do is sometimes, now I had a little box that a few years ago I brought over here and did this wonderful collaboration with Julie, where I made some sound hiding behind a veil.
Oh yeah.
And
Julie
is like, afterwards people will say, oh, you guys everything was like, you were working together so well. And see, the secret is Julie was listening to me and responding. So it was mostly Julie. But I was giving her something to play off, and she responded. And so that worked pretty well. So I like doing those kinds of things. I also like playing with sometimes another noise-making musician, such as Mark Hostler here. And we have actually played and made noise together, and even though we more often just play solo. But anyway, so that's basically how I wanted to present that I've been feeling a disconnect from this community because of everything that's going on, what with COVID and then this flood and terrible condition of the park where we used to play synthesizers, the French Broad River Park, what's it called? Yeah, the park over, it was completely obliterated.
Yeah.
And so therefore, the people that ran that decided they weren't going to do it anymore. So, and
they
then
haven't got an alternative venue.
they apparently weren't interested
Oh.
to do it. I don't know why. It was their thing. They were
So that just
organizing. It's
kind of
called
disintegrated.
Modular on the Spot.
Yeah.
But they stopped doing it. But there's another little group called Synths in the Wild or something. And they've had like 4 little events over the summer, and I played at one of those a month ago. And it's very small. There's only like 15 people attending, you know. They have it over in the Montford Park.
Right, yeah.
There's a little bowl there in the corner. Set up. So yeah, so they're doing that, and they'll probably, I think they're going to have another event. It was supposed to be one this last Sunday, but
you haven't felt as connected.
no, I don't even know those folks very well. I heard that was happening. I went over and then they said, well, if you want to play at one of these, come up and tell us. And so I did. And I actually took this over because I'd been wanting to play that out and put it on a big sound system. With the type of sounds I make, I'm pretty much limited by the sound system. Right here, I've got just a little boom box here. It's basically a Bluetooth speaker, but it has an input for, it'll take a signal, and that's how I used it here. But I like to use larger sound systems. I don't like to play extremely loud.
So have you just been spending a lot more time just kind of developing sound by yourself?
Yeah,
I've been the last few months.
I've been working in my own studio, putting things together, and I've got lots of work.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just have a period of time
Lots of work
like
ahead
that.
of me. I've made a larger box that I can take out and do a lot more things with. That I was thinking I would bring that, but I thought that's too big, you know, so I'll bring something small. And but basically I just wanted to present a little sound. And I don't have a lot of story to tell.
Okay, now I'm going to introduce
but wait a minute.
Richard. No, not yet.
Oh, you're in. But anyway, yeah.
I'm waiting to the end to introduce.
So if you look at my little blog called pugix.com, which I think was in the links for this, that's where I put everything for the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. It goes way, way, way back. And last spring, or maybe it was like in June or something, I was actually interviewed for an hour and a half for a podcast. And they haven't got back to me. They said they're going to publish it sometime and they've got to edit it and all that stuff. And that'll be up there. And so I go more into my background and so on. But they asked me to do that, so I did. But basically, my background is as a musician. Or you want to introduce me?
Yeah, I'm going to introduce you now. So this is Richard Brewster.
Former French horn player. Yeah.
And he isn't from around here either. Where are you from, Richard?
I do not know where I'm from, actually.
You landed
No, I know that, but people talk about, well, you were born here and you grew up there and then you lived there and you lived there and you lived there. But honestly,
well, you can work backwards if you like. All I know is that before here you were in Charlottesville for quite some considerable time.
I was in Charlotte, yeah.
And that you spent a brief moment in New York, and then you were in upstate New York.
Yeah, I'm
School in Binghamton.
sort of-
Those are the places I know about.
Yeah, I'm from around upstate New York, and I've got a long history going back there. And I was very fortunate, I might as well say, to have landed a job working for in 1975, 5. I took a job with the Experimental Television Center in Binghamton, and that really, I probably wouldn't be doing all the
Set you on the path.
It set me on the path because I encountered a lot of artists, musicians, dancers, especially, and video artists who came through there. And so I was exposed to a lot of dedicated artists. And what I realized was I wasn't like them. I wasn't a dedicated artist. But that I was drawn to sound a lot, and I was exposed to a lot of very interesting stuff. There was something about that period of time in that place. The American Dance Asylum was there. Bill T. Jones and Marty Zane started their work there and then went to New York. Followed Bill for a while, but I knew those people, and I met Namjoon Pike, and it was, and that's where I built equipment. So I built synthesizers, and I've been building synthesizers. Well, I had about a 20-year hiatus where I went off and did a whole other thing with my life, which I don't need to go into. And then eventually, around 2002, I decided I would come back and play with modular stuff because it was more hands-on and more immediate than computer programming, which is my work. So, but then we're here in Asheville because, well, we came to one of Claire's birthday. This is the story. And Claire likes to tell people, which is true, that we moved here because we liked her friends. And we met a lot of her friends at this birthday party, and decided we'd been wondering, well, maybe we'll move somewhere else, but we didn't know where to go. And this is where we landed. And so we've been here 12 years now.
Wow.
I remember that.
Oh.
I met you.
Yes, we met you.
I think before you moved here.
Yes.
I was one of those friends.
You came over to our apartment and you saw this thing I was building. And you thought visually it was so striking. You had me put it in an art gallery.
Yeah. Yeah, your modular
it's a
temple.
It's a strange
The
looking
big
thing.
modular wall.
Well,
temple.
this is the red and blue thing with a lot of
Oh.
colorful jacks and stuff on it. That I was building. It says actually on it 2013. That's when I finished it. I started it before we moved here and finished it off after we moved here. It was a lot of work.
But I love the fact that, at home you have this huge big modular synth wall, and then when you come to play out, you'll grab like this little portable thing. And
Well, just for
I love
curiosity's sake, I have located my modular synth wall, my big, large format, over at the bottle shop in West Asheville.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
Because my friend over there, Cry Samadi, he's another synthesizer player. I asked him, I said, how would you like to have this over there? And so it's over there for people to come and use.
Cool. Okay, good. Yes.
Yeah, it's there for people to come and use, and I've heard people are coming and using it.
Good.
People walk in and say, "Oh, I know what that is," and they say, "Okay, go."
Go to the bottle shop.
It's getting some use and
Check
some
it out.
enjoyment for people because I've been using that thing less and less, and I've been seemingly in my studio is a sort of an overwhelming presence. So I kind of like, so get that overwhelming presence out of here, and I'll work with smaller things now.
When did you move that over there? I didn't know this.
The end of August.
Okay, not that long ago.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. It's the end of August. And yeah, they built a special table to hold it, and so they can wheel it around and move it out of the way.
Oh, that's great. I love that it's getting
So
the public
that's-
attention it
So
deserves.
it's getting used, and so
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. So right now, I'm wondering, I am feeling this disconnection with, I haven't been doing much playing out. I think it's partly because, I don't know, curators have gotten younger. That's my theory. And they're not they're doing their thing. And I'm just kind of not cool anymore. So I don't know.
Well,
That plus
they-
all the disruptions.
They don't know.
I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I would love to be invited to play at various events or whatever.
Okay, well, we need
Or-
to get that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have heard from Claire, there will be another cesspool of synths.
There will be.
Oh,
Yes,
yay.
there will be one this
There will
year.
Because
Yeah.
what do we do? We missed 2
Cesspool
years.
of synth.
What about, you used to have something at your place?
We had events at our house in my studio from 2015 to 2019.
Those were on what, Monday night or something, Thursday?
Yeah.
They were
Mondays.
different.
Most.
They were mostly Monday nights, yeah.
We did potlucks.
And there was it's funny, you know, but I had a lot of different people, local people, people coming through, play over there. And that was a great thing, but then COVID-19 happened and everybody freaked out about gatherings. And so the last one was scheduled for like March 2020, something like that. And
then you didn't have them, you
decided to
didn't do them
cancel it
after
because
that.
everybody was freaking out about COVID and gatherings.
So you didn't do them after that?
No,
No.
afterwards
that
I
was it.
decided that that was over, that period was over. You have to let go
Right.
of periods. And yeah, it just didn't seem right anymore. More venues opened up for electronic type music and modular music, more venues. And so that was one of the reasons I did it. There weren't that many venues that were willing to host this. So I was really happy to have people like Kima Moore come over and play because, you know, whenever I love his music. And of course, he does a great live performance. But I guess he'll be doing one this Sunday at
Asheville.
Lisa's thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted a place for people like Kima to play, and you know, I had Lisa Ferris played over there several times at our place, and a lot of people that we know. I mean, it was all pretty much electronic.
Everybody's played there.
Yeah, you played over there.
I don't know anybody anymore in town, but everybody.
Yeah, I had a new setup I tested out. When it was still in pieces, I was still trying to figure it all out.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
Performance.
Well, that was one of the things too. It was for people who wanted to try out some things in front of an intimate audience. And it was a free event. And so it wound up connecting some people too. You know, it was a kind of a social event, so that worked. But that's over now, and I don't know what's coming next, but
Yeah, there needs to be something good.
Yeah,
There needs to be another kind of surgence of electronic
Yeah,
modules
so anyway,
band.
People out there, I'm available. If you
Yes.
want me to play at your events or something, and you'll never know. This guy Eric, who works at Make Noise and organized the modulars on the spot, he once introduced me. He says, I always like to see what Richard Brewster's going to do because I never know what it's going to be like. And that's perfect, that's what I want. I don't want people to say, oh yeah, I've heard him, because I'll always bring some.
Fit in here.
Yeah, you never know exactly what I'm gonna.
Or can you play that one again?
So,
Right. Okay, well, I think the never know what Richard's gonna do next is a good way to wrap up this particular session, so. Thank
thank
you, yeah. And I want to kind of turn this around just to get the crowd in the room, just for whoever's watching the recording. So wave, say hello. And we will be back again next time with the next Whybut session. And
When is it?
excited. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So that it'll be on the November 4th. All right, so I'm gonna end the meeting here.
Photo op. This is great, guys. Well, it was fun to